I must believe in free will. If my decisions are not my own, then to whom do they belong? Moreover, if I harm another or another harms me, then to whom do I apologize and to whom do I forgive? If it was not really me who chose to do harm, and it was not really them who harmed me, then who or what is at fault? What of all the people in prison? If free will is absent and no one makes choices, then why are they suffering for something they did not choose? If free will is absent from reality, it creates so many problems that every preconception I have about the human condition would be destroyed. For my own sake, I must believe in free will. Unfortunately, the sheer breadth of literature proving free will does not exist is overwhelming. I'm sure some of you are thinking at this very moment, what about quantum randomness? The realm of the quantum does not play by the rules of Einstein. An electron is unpredictable and random. It exists as a set of probabilities. Surely they are not deterministic. That means we must have free will, but to that I say, randomness does not imply will. Will is intentional. Moreover, even if the randomness at the bedrock of existence did imply freedom, what about all the other arguments? For a choice to be free, you'd need to choose your desires, but to choose your desires, you'd need prior desires, and so on and so forth, leading to an infinite regress. Almost all of your choices are embodied within the subconscious. It's likely that less than 5% of your perceived choices are without influence. Every event, including human thought, experiments show brain activity, personalities, tendencies, upbringing, culture, and social context have neurotransmitters and hormones, increasingly algorithms. The mind is nothing more than, if in any situation you don't truly, people are praised. Humans often rationalize this. Free will is often much of human decision making. You didn't choose life. Free will does not exist. The easiest escape from this reality is to simply say, even with all the evidence against free will, I still act as if I have it, and I have no alternative to this reality. That was comforting to me at first, but with time I realized that this argument does not absolve us of the moral responsibility to determine if the actions of individuals are really their own. From here, I embarked on a journey of discovery over the course of many years, and I have recently found a satisfactory answer for myself, and I would like to bring you along with me. Disclaimer: all of these ideas are my own opinions. This is by no means academically rigorous enough to formally prove any positions, nor is this the only way to go about defining free will. It is simply my own wandering, and the conclusions I find morally satisfactory. First, we must define the terms with which we are arguing. Free will. What do we mean by free, and what do we mean by will? Is freedom the ability to do anything, or can there be constraints on freedom? If there are constraints, what are they and how are they limiting? To define what it means to be free, let's play a game, you against me. Go ahead, you can go first. A game with no rules is cursed. By what means can one play if there are no laws to lead the way? All games require convention. I'll show you a few if I have your attention. It's true, a piano has only 88 keys, but a composer can generate infinite melodies. Our eyes perceive but a spectrum of hues, yet art creates worlds no one can refuse. Language provides only so many letters, but the world of words cannot fit in any ledger. A rook can travel only so far, yet The moves on a chessboard outnumber the stars. This screen speaks to you through limited code, but infinite worlds from its logic explode. The atom is built from particles small, yet they combine to construct the universe. All in all, the genome is coded in modest script, yet countless creatures from it have slipped. Binary speaks only by two, yet all of creation it can construe. The dance of logic begins with true and false, yet whole universes spring from their waltz. A deck of cards has but 52, yet games unending can be played all the way through. Only freedom, bound by natural law, allows any conclusions for us to draw. Now you may see as plain as can be that only in limits are we ever truly free. Now for the next order of business, what is a natural law? There is no universal understanding of a natural law, so instead I will provide my own definition. Natural laws are physical properties of both object and of the body that interacts with them, which binds or constrains the actions and or thoughts of individuals. For example, it is a natural law that humans cannot fly. It is not a natural law that humans cannot lie. So putting all that together, to be free means to be able to make your own choices within the constraints of natural laws. We have defined freedom. Now what of will? To have will simply means to choose, but what is a choice? A choice is always a constraint. We see the world as actions. A cup is not a cup, it is a thing to drink from. A door is not a door, it is a thing to pass through. A screen is not a screen, it's a connection to a virtual world. We do not perceive or organize objects, but instead interactions. Because we see interactions, when we see a cup, we immediately want to pick it up and drink from it, but instead we inhibit ourselves by choosing not to drink from it. This definition is succinct because it means we can only make choices within natural laws. If natural laws are the boundaries of our bodies and choices are limitations, I cannot limit myself to not fly because I could never fly in the first place. Thus, there is no choice to fly or not. Altogether now, free will is the ability to make choices inside natural laws that are unconstrained. If that is the case, then there is no free will, because there is no action you can take that is not in some way influenced by either past interactions or by your own body. We have already explained why this is the case. If choice is an inhibition of actions your body is already taking, then how can you be in control of yourself? The one that is causing the inhibition is not the same one that is causing the initial reaction. They are separate entities, and only one of them is the self. Thus, all interactions are in some way influenced by something that is not you. Thus, there is no such thing as choice made in isolation as a matter of definition, and free will does not exist. This is the furthest I can get with mechanistic thinking. This is not the only way to arrive at this conclusion. I found all the typical ways to arrive at a definition of free will to be lacking, because all of them inevitably prove free will does not exist. So, to amend this problem, I set out to define free will through my own reasoning, only to fall short just like everyone else, but there is a way around it. This entire argument assumes that you are nothing but your body. Thus, the way out is to proclaim you have a spirit. From this point on, I have to abandon mechanistic ideas in favor of religious ones. I find that no matter the topic, if you delve deep enough, you always tap into the religious. Partly because there are words that only exist in that realm, but also because I believe it is an inherent part of the human condition. To make the case for free will, we must include a soul. I do not think humans really have a choice in the actions that they take. The only choice we have that is not influenced by anything and that we have full control over is the choice of whether we let our soul control us or if we let our spirit control us. I follow Jesus of Nazareth, so all further arguments for a spiritual existence will stem from that reference. If you want to know why I believe this and why I'm religious at all, I will leave that video in the description. Even in the world of Christianity, the idea that God provides free will is a modern one. For that reason, I will first prove to myself that free will does exist in the biblical account, and then from there we can articulate the limited space in which it can operate. In the beginning, God created the heavens and the earth, and he made man in his image, and he called his creation good. What does it mean to be made in the image of God? This is not a physical proclamation. What about people born with physical abnormalities? Are they not made in the image of God? No. The aspect of us that is made in God's image is the ability to create hierarchical value structures. When God creates, you could argue that he is not making the world from nothing. He is instead separating the world from chaos into creation. And being made in his image, we do the same thing. Adam's first task was taxonomy, or the classification and naming of animals. We can create in a limited aspect, just like our creator, and because we can create, the root of our free will is the ability to follow God's hierarchy or our own. The fruit of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil was the knowledge that not only could they create pseudo-moral structures, but also that we had the freedom to choose to allow those structures to influence us, opposed to the structures that God has made. According to the Christian account, the spirit is the thing that does what our Creator has planned for us, and the soul is our mind, body, and emotions. The only room for free will that I can see is for us as humanity to choose whether we allow the soul to influence our actions or we allow the spirit to influence our actions. Outside of that one choice, everything we choose is influenced by one of these entities. I wish I had a better answer, but this is as far as I can get without lying to myself. With this solution, people are still responsible for their actions because they can choose to be led by their creator or by their imperfect nature. We do have free will and thus are moral agents and can influence outcomes for both good and bad. And with my free will, I have chosen to reason my way to the Father and attempt to bring as many people as I can with me. Thank you